A California man accused of hiding in a restricted area of the O'Hare International Airport in Chicago was arrested Saturday after the United Airlines staff said he possessed stolen airport credentials. Following his apprehension, the man was quoted as repeatedly muttering, "If I can't see it, it can't see me." He claimed to be hiding from the COVID. Well, if you wanted honesty, you've come to the wrong place. Cunnilingus and cum dumpstery. Yes, that is what we're at here.
Ooh, I love it.
It is not cola, it is cock.
Coca-Cola.
Time to whip it out and start tucking.
The power of the mic compels you.
Much like cock, I need one. And at this point, you can smell the Caucasian through your speakers.
You're screaming, I cream.
I think I missed half of the references, but I understood the point.
Dim-witted thunderfuck. This is the Disinformed podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm John.
I'm Michael.
I'm Courtney.
And that, friends and listeners, is a true story.
I read that yesterday. It cracked me up.
Yeah, I saw you nodding your head, but I know nothing about that. How?
He was there for 3 months?
3 months. Hiding from COVID.
At the worst possible place in the world. The busiest airport in the
fucking
world.
Terrible job.
What are you going to do, you know? Can't
Not
get through customs. Don't want to cough.
Won't take my
He
cock.
must have been a millionaire in order to live there for 3 months. Like,
He was begging for food.
oh,
Yes.
okay.
It was
that
not
makes
a
more
good
sense.
situation.
I was like, the amount of money you spend at an airport just to eat like a freaking churro or something like that, or a burrito or something.
I've been through O'Hare a few times.
Why are all these things phallic?
I got dick on the mind. I'm sorry.
Well, you're about to have dick in the throat if you don't shut up.
Must be love on the brain. In the brain.
Around the brain. Through the
on
brain.
the brain.
I've been through O'Hare a few times. I totally believe that they would be that stupid to not catch this guy for that long. Just to be that non-observant. It's a fun airport.
Well, look at you, Mr. World fucking Traveler here.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been to O'Hare Airport. Look,
It's the
I'm
only
special.
airport I know it all. Outside of Sky Harbor.
Hey, aren't you lucky? My wife can book me tickets.
Yeah, it's called wife privilege. I'm a wife supremacist.
Did she appreciate that from last week?
No. Oh my goodness.
I don't know what that
Should
means.
we regale the kids with that story, John, so Courtney can be in on the loop?
Probably.
John was telling me that I desperately needed to purchase a couple more things to add to the recording rig, and all of these cost money, naturally. And so he's like, when you have the opportunity, and I know this is my white privilege talking, but when you've got the extra $100 lying around, you really need to buy this. And I was like, that's not your white privilege. That's your wife privilege.
That is a fact. Jonah and I discuss regularly, like, why is Becky with John? It just doesn't, it doesn't even out.
He must be doing something right.
You guys are helping me get to a story that I wanted to tell you guys this week.
This tweak?
This tweak. Yeah, and that... I was going to make a joke and be like, oh, well, the first date that Becky and I went on, she hit her head super hard and it impaired her judgment, and here we are.
50 first dates later.
Checks out.
Well, we had kind of like a full circle moment in our relationship over the weekend. And
A butthole?
Yeah, indeed. Real quick, who's lagging?
You're lagging.
Is it just on my side?
Yes.
Probably.
Okay, well, my internet's fine.
Just download more internet.
Yeah.
When you get the opportunity, just, pay for better speed on your internet, my friend.
If you have a couple of $100 laying around, maybe you could, I don't know, fix that?
Yeah, what are you, a poor person?
Yeah, God, get out of here.
My second laptop's really dragging on my time this week.
Well, when Becky and I first met, before our first date, we met on Tinder, and in her profile, there was something sarcastic about, how she would totally kick your ass in Super Smash Bros. On the N64. And her and I were, doing the usual, flirting stuff, ended up getting to the first date, and it's still kind of I brought that up because it's a natural talking point. If it's in the bio, just things that you use to start conversation or keep conversation. And within like our second or third date, I came over to her house because we were going to play Super Smash Bros. We were going to see who could kick whose ass. And I basically just throat slammed her through the floor of her house in Super Smash Brothers. Like, I ruined her life in this game. And if that past sentence or explanation doesn't really paint a picture, I'm a sore winner and a sore loser. So I'm in her room. I just beat her in Super Smash Brothers, and I'm doing the grandma's boy bit. I'm like, oh, what does high score mean? What does first place mean? Does that mean I won? What does this mean? And it got to the point where, just like she'll never watch the movie Tusk ever again, she basically vowed to never play Super Smash Brothers with me ever again in that moment. And I mean, back then, like, we obviously didn't know we were going to be on the road we are now. Like, we were trying to scare each other away. We met on Tinder. We were just trying to have fun and go our separate ways, but then we ended up, kind of digging it. So fast forward to the weekend. It just happened. And we're hanging out with my sister, and we naturally brought up, like, I sarcastically was like, well, do you want a rematch in that Super Smash Bros. Tournament?
It's not the first time you played Super Smash Bros. With your sister.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that comes later.
Comes whenever you want to, apparently.
Well, if she works hard enough. Anywho, I don't fuck my sister.
He has to specify this.
Thanks for clarifying that. We were really
Legal
concerned.
says that he has to state
dad,
this.
but I don't fuck my sister. And Philip likes it.
Philip with what?
Later. All right. So Becky agrees because it's been enough time. She goes, that actually would be fun, because she's been, when I met her, she wasn't really like a gamer, but now I would describe her as, she's played a couple games. She's up to current time. So I decided to make it interesting, though, and I made bets. At first I was like, well, you should just bet me money. Like, if I win, like, I want money. If I'm going to beat you 2 times in a row, then I want paid.
Did you spend all your allowance this week? Is that why you were betting for money?
Yeah. We finally agreed on terms, and I bet her a 1-month subscription to an OnlyFans of my choice that I would beat her in Super Smash Brothers, and she bet that that amount of money. She was like, I can't think of anything in the moment, so like, what is it, $12 for a month? I was like, yeah, for I guess
for a quality woman, content creator.
That being said, I didn't choose the OnlyFans that well. I did win. I beat her, and I got the OnlyFans subscription. I was like, you don't get to know who it is. And I subscribed, and it wasn't worth it.
It's your fault for picking Michael's OnlyFans.
It wasn't worth it.
It never is.
I will say it was worth it to have the rematch, though, because no joke, no sarcasm. Like, it was a really close match. She's she's actually fucking good.
Wow.
So sorry for the long story there, but it was really funny. And also, I've never paid for porn before, ever. Like, I've never.
That's sad.
Why? I'm a millennial. I'm practically a Zoomer. I just get it for free.
That Sears catalog comes every month, just like me.
Victoria's Secret, please.
Well, speaking of things that start with an immense amount of promise and then go woefully unfulfilled, how about that Tron what have you become moment of all those QAnon folks that realized that someone else took control of this country and our fearless leaders did not step up to stop it from happening?
I think there is a subsection, if I recall correctly, that thinks the Day of Reckoning is going to be March 6th, I think.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, just keep pushing it back, guys. It works.
Listen, once we get organized, you guys are fucked. You don't know what's coming your way.
At 2087, I'm marking my calendar.
We're vegans that occasionally eat meat, and we are pissed.
You bring back those potato tacos right
Listen,
now.
I am going to fast inside of this prison cell until you give me my fair trade organic oatmeal, or else I'll die.
I thought you said you were going to fap inside the cell.
And then I'll fap inside of the cell. Like J. Lopez.
just shoot some kids up in you.
What am I, a school?
Oh,
Thank you.
Wait.
Oof. But no, I did enjoy, stealing from John's favorite phrase, watching the soul leave a few folks' body as they were, just open hand and open mouth going, no, how can it happen? The guy that was like formerly a stutterer is now leading this country. How far we've fallen. Like, oh, really? Mm.
Yeah, Stuttering Stanley just stuttering bitch slapped you. Yeah.
I'm just glad that a lot of the the militias. I'm not going to try and say that other stuff.
No.
The
right
wingers.
The right wing.
I prefer
Militia.
centers, but I enjoy hockey. It's an entertaining sport. It's
You mean domestic terrorists, Michael?
Yes, the Proud Boys. They've distanced themselves from Trump. They called him weak.
Yeah, so obviously he's a beta male cuck. So we're going to keep drinking this soy milk because it makes our bones strong. And he can go play his fat ass golf down in Key Largo.
But it's not actual soy because that's feminine and turns you into a soy boy, right? But this soy milk is not actually soy. It's actually meat soy. It's made from real meat soy.
I'm just seeing how many times I can make Shane shake his head and like headbutt his desk.
No, you made me start singing the Beach Boys in my head, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Key Largo, Montego, baby, why don't we go down where Trump's still lost?
Did you guys see about GameStop?
I did not tell me.
Where it was a section of Reddit, Wall Street bets were like, what is it, short sale or something like that?
Yeah,
for
I have The Verge
market?
pulled up.
Yeah.
And essentially, the first paragraph of the article is great. And there are 3 things to remember as you watch the chaos unfolding with GameStop's stock price. First, Wall Street is just what happens when you mix money with feelings. Second, the internet is real life. And third, the street always wins, especially if you're trading with Robinhood. So essentially, r/Wall Street bets memed investment into GameStop to the point where, let's see, GameStop stock has been soaring in a remarkably volatile fashion. January 22nd zoomed upwards of 69%. Nice. Before it triggered a circuit breaker halt the following Monday, the 25th. They were halted 9 times. Essentially, they're just trying to say fuck you to Wall Street by doing a bunch of short sales.
Nice.
And it's hilarious to see people scrambling.
I
don't know why that reminded me.
No, I'll admit this week was the worst week to try and actually start investing in other things in the stock market. So that was
and then
fun.
Shane,
What that means is Michael watched The Wolf of Wall Street on Thursday afternoon.
And
Yeah.
got
It's like,
inspired.
I can get in on this thing on the ground floor.
I could sell the fuck out of a pen.
This is a real-time documentary, right?
Call me Jordan Belfort.
I wanted to fuck my cousin.
There's a subreddit
fuck
I
my cousin.
subscribe to called A Boring Dystopia, which is all about just like
Why am I
late-stage-
not surprised?
Yeah, capitalism. Yeah. Anyway, but it was it was kind of like, it was Kramer's Mad Money, which is I think an NBC show or something like that. But it was kind of like a hypothetical one, but it was dubbed over the scene in Joker, where he's on the talk
Give it
show.
you deserve.
Yes, yeah, that whole scene, and it's pretty much Kramer, the money guy, asking this millennial who threw all of his money into the stocks for GameStop and everything. He's like, "Well, I got nothing else better to do. What do you think I can actually make money off of $1,200 like period? Like I can't make all this money." So I thought, fuck it, why not? Did I lose all my money? Yeah, but I don't care. It was just a really funny like. I don't know where I was going with this, but the stock thing reminded me of it. I'll probably just cut this. This is terrible.
Well done.
Trash.
Speaking of your Trump statement there, Shane, and this pertains to all of us because we're AZ locals here. But did you guys see that Trump billboard over the past 4 years near Grand Ave?
Uh-huh.
It's it made the rounds, but it was Trump surrounded by dollar signs that kind of intentionally resemble swastikas, and there's 2 nukes going off in the background. Obviously it's gone now, right? Because Trump is gone. And this is good news. This isn't me like setting up a bit. It's been replaced by the same person who put up the Trump-pocalypse billboard with a Black History Matters billboard, 1619 and beyond. So if you guys see that on Grand,
Very
it's
cool.
yes, some levity. But then also, guys, I prepped articles for you guys. I was so excited to share stories.
Were they the Articles of Confederacy?
No, fuck them forever. I saw this and
They're fucking themselves, John. It's fine.
Ooh-wee.
I mean, that's true. I didn't think of a particular member of this podcast. I thought of us all as a podcast when I saw this headline and the beginning of the article. This is on Lad Bible. And it's Woman Stabs Husband Over Other Woman.
Like you do.
Like physically,
woman is
like
accused
he
of
was stabbed on top of another woman.
Wait. A woman is accused of
Is that
stabbing
a
her
menage a
husband.
trois?
Menage a quoi? Quoi?
Quoi?
A woman is accused of stabbing her husband several times after finding photos of him having sex with a younger woman before realizing they were actually old photos of her. Police in Mexico were called out to reports of domestic abuse at a home in Sonora after neighbors heard screaming and shouting coming from the property. When they arrived, they found a man, who has been named as Juan, lying on the ground after sustaining multiple stab wounds to his arms and legs. His wife, who has only been identified as Lenora, was then arrested at the scene. According to the Daily Mail, the violent attack started after the woman found photos of her husband having sex with what she thought was another woman. She is said to have grabbed a knife and lunged at her husband, repeatedly stabbing him and shouting, "Abuse!" Juan was eventually able to take the weapon from her and demanded to know why she had carried out the attack. She told him about the photos, which the man then explained were old photos of the two of them. Once told, she realized the images were in fact actually of her and him from years before when they were just dating.
Now, I think this speaks volumes about how far she has fallen if Lenora from Sonora did not recognize herself. I'm afraid she looks like a shampooed Shar-Pei puppy these days as opposed to her formerly fit self.
Yeah, I saw a picture in the article. She's not cute.
Well, that changes everything.
Not even like...
That created the whole bit of anonymity. She had the bag on her head while they were taking the pictures. And...
She's like, wait a second. Oh, yeah, I did use that bag from 2009 to 2012.
I can't believe you found another woman that has an Australia-shaped birthmark on her butt cheek and fucked her.
She's probably ugly as shit. He's like, you know what?
You're right on both
right.
counts. Gonna split you like our domestic, ownings and all of our random nonsense that we share.
Oh my god, was that your only swing and a miss that I've heard in a good long while?
Probably, yeah.
Nice.
I got halfway through and I forgot I was human.
Well, you're awake today. That's all.
No,
that
I'm
matters.
not. That's an argument.
Okay.
Anywho, for those of you who are not familiar with how this podcast normally works, most of us mealy mouth our way through it. But occasionally we are coherent enough to present you, the listening public, with a random esoteric topic for your general consideration and consumption, but in the course of explaining it to one another, we will lie about it just to keep things interesting. And it is incumbent upon the co-hosts who are listening to then try to pick out the lies from the truths presented, recognize them in situ, scream, interloper, or posse, and lose regardless, because there are no points and no one could conceivably win here. So with that said, Courtney is going to be presenting a very riveting topic this week.
I'm so excited, and I think I had probably more fun putting this together than I should have. Like, I was like, I don't actually want to present this. I just want to watch this movie again and write about it because it's so fun. So I'm going to do VelociPastor. I stumbled across this movie from an app that John frequents called TikTok. And this...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I live on that shit.
Zoomers.
And this lady she had posted this video talking about this movie and the premise, and I was like, oh my god, like, who would make such trash? I must see it. So that's how we ended up here. The irony in that is I've probably seen less movies than Michael has. I don't get movie references. I've just never watched movies. And
how can you see less than no movies?
Because I've seen like negative movies. Yeah.
Whoa.
It's because she is, instead of actually catching up on movies, she watches shit like VelociPastor.
Yeah.
which just puts her into negative ranking. Like, you're never going to understand, like, common tropes if you keep watching only B movies because they deconstruct and don't understand trope.
I can get behind that description. Yeah, that
Which
does
means
count as a
she's-
negative movie.
She's also seen many films I've starred in.
Hey,
She doesn't watch porn.
I enjoyed seeing you as the blood doctor.
I enjoyed it as well. And I don't make pornography, Michael.
He made. I'm sorry. You're right. You make art.
I know that everything that I know that everything that he does is sex, but
I was going to say, no, a man randomly touching himself with, just random objects found on the street, it doesn't quite qualify.
that is a very weird prank show.
I don't know, John, you're a subscriber to his OnlyFans. What would you say about the random items?
I would say that the things that you think would fit into the particular holes.
Okay, next.
So, on the next episode, Ashton Kutcher is going to jump out and say, like, leave that inanimate object alone. For a disgusting thing, did any of you see Glass Ass back in the day? I'm sure how depraved John was.
Was that the one guy, one cup thing?
No, it is a gentleman who had lubricated a mason jar and was attempting to squat on top of it.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
We're good. We don't need to even describe this. So,
Oh, come on.
Fucking not. It's so not safe for life.
Oh,
It is not safe
so the
for
guy
life.
who was all super keen about talking about urethral drills sounding is suddenly uncomfortable about having shards of broken glass up his ass. Oh, isn't him cute?
Well, one's an injury, the other's just a fetish.
I would argue to the contrary.
Yeah. I mean, if people like
You
eating
leave
glass,
me and my shards of glass alone.
I mean, shards of broken glass is basically describing some people's relationships.
Jonah?
hello?
You were saying,
Well,
Courtney?
May the force be with you.
I will argue that, like, it's not that I don't enjoy movies, it's just that I don't know what movies to watch, so instead I find the trashiest TV possible, and I just binge that instead.
Ooh,
That's fair. I can't fault you for that.
we do not kink shame here.
Mhm. Amen. Ramen.
Ramen. But, you know, the thing that really drew me to this movie specifically was that it combined three of my favorite things, which is trash, dinosaurs, and childhood religious trauma. Oh, or pastors. Yeah.
I was going to say pastors. Oh, okay. Childhood religious trauma. Okay.
Pastors,
okay, I
same
got it.
thing. Yeah. So for VelociPastor this week, I have about 7-ish lies.
About?
Let's clarify that ish for a second, shall we?
I mean, some of them feed into them, so it's not fair to call them individual. Like, if you don't pick it out early on, it's just going to keep
John,
coming
what
up.
the fuck are you doing?
I'm trying to light my dick on fire.
He's got... I don't even know what that... Oh,
It's a lighter.
okay. He's got like a butane lighter,
Why?
and he's
Could
literally...
you save this for After Dark when people can actually watch your fucking hijinks, you sap?
I'm trying to relight my candle.
So if
Is that what
the
they're
love
calling
and
it
the
nowadays?
lust has fallen out of your marriage, could you do that on your own time? Don't rekindle the flame while we're talking to each other.
The flame is gone. The fire remains.
No
Oh,
hot wax
there are
during
pills
the
for
episode,
that.
John.
You can, But yes,
Sorry, guys.
wax. Do it. Wax those balls. Courtney, I'm sorry.
Oh
Please
no, this
proceed.
is par for the course. So right off the top, I want to give a trigger warning for violence, sexual content, drug use. Per any other movie. According to Amazon Prime, this is a 16+ rated movie.
Okay.
But according to a all-Christian jury, it was rated X. So do with that what you will.
Satan!
For
Well.
what specifically? Do they just... It's just X.
For extra groovy.
Yeah, just rated X by an all-Christian
They don't
jury.
give the reasons behind it?
No.
Oh.
Well,
Wow, that's
fuck
a
you,
little
Peck.
disappointing.
You're a Mormon, and compared to you, everybody's an alcoholic.
Just lying there.
On the floor there.
So basically, the premise of the story is, so VelociPastor follows Pastor Doug, who is the younger clergyman at a local Catholic church. We open up on a scene of him preaching about how evolution can't be true. He walks out of the church after service all bright-eyed and proud of himself because, he was spreading the good word. And he looks across the street and his parents are just there like waving at him because obviously they're thrilled. Like, what more could you do with your career? Exactly. It pans back.
Get him, son.
You preach the hell out of that church.
That's right.
You mean preach to heaven back into the church.
The camera pans back to Doug after viewing his parents, and he just starts screaming because there's an explosion. Their car has exploded. They are both dead. But instead of showing a car on fire, a caption comes up on the screen, and there's an empty street where the car was, and it just says, VFX, car on fire.
I have seen that clip.
Do you think, is that actually intentional, or do you think they just ran out of time and money?
Well, so I'm pretty sure that the reason they did that was they actually saved the rest of, like, the budget for, like, more important things. Because we definitely get into some parts where I'm like, all right, like, you guys actually, like, did something here. This is pretty entertaining. But the car on fire effects on the screen instead of seeing it, honestly, way more funny.
Okay.
Yeah, it sets the stage, I would argue. Do you know what their budget was? Just off the top of your head, if you saw that?
Unfortunately, I did not look that up. I do know this movie was made in 2017, so it's really not that old. And overall, like, the quality of it, not so bad.
I mean, obviously they were operating at a shortfall here because they could not afford the Limu Emu and just had to go with Doug. So
That's true.
Everyone watches it for the emu, not for Doug.
agreed.
So basically that whole scene, that's like where we open this movie. It's fantastic. And so after that, he basically goes back into the church and he's sitting there with Father Stewart, who is basically his mentor. And Father Stewart is just like, this is a direct quote. So your parents died, Doug. It's what parents do.
He's not wrong.
Probably just do some cocaine about it.
No, better. He passes him the bottle of communion wine and is like, here, have some more wine.
Nice.
Like, here you go. Deal with it.
I
like,
mean,
all it takes is
blood of Jesus. It makes anyone feel better.
6 bottles of church wine to start feeling a buzz.
Are you speaking from experience?
Oh, yeah.
He was one of them good altar boys.
I actually was an altar boy.
Yeah,
Kristen and I both were.
explains a lot about your
Yeah.
kinks. But anyways,
No, he altered the turgidity of the priest.
I thought that's why they were called altar boys.
Well, he turned me into an altar man.
Give me that sensor right in the butt.
Meet me in the rectory.
I'm not talking about the location.
Passover, that's what he does with his dick by my butt.
Wait, hold on. Rectory damn near killed him. I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. I have a problem.
We were waiting for Courtney to get into the chat, and before we were saying our usual stuff, just getting things out of our system, we're like, oh, good thing Courtney's not here, like, got to get this out of the way before Courtney gets here. I would argue that what we've been saying on air is worse than anything.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm the one here who was not claiming that we were models of restraint in her presence, so...
And you were 100% correct.
accurate. So basically, like I said, that's the opening scene. I mean, we could honestly just stop there and you could just go watch the movie at this point because it's only uphill from here. Like, it just keeps getting better.
How long is the movie?
It's about an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay.
So it's not that
like
long.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
night,
exactly. The only big issue I had with the movie, and like I mentioned, like, you could tell that the budget was used on specific things. One of the things it was not used on was the costuming. They straight up were wearing, like, Halloween store priest costumes. Like, frayed at the collar. Like, it's atrocious. It was so funny, but also, like, you didn't have any friends that could sew? Like, honestly? Like, what are we doing here?
Also, my favorite thing, even with B-horror movies, is the same concept when you see, like, just really ragged people out in public, where it's like, at a certain point, like, that was a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Exactly.
You looked in a mirror, you had your whole production team, and you're like, nope, you nailed it.
You did good, kid.
Just, like, we could have spent, you know, the extra $10 to, you know, try, or even just cut the frayed strings off the collar. Like, come on, what are we doing?
We don't have time for such
you
simple
left the
things
fucking
like
price tag on, Doug.
Exactly.
I have more important things to do. I have a movie to shoot.
Listen, I want to give me a spicy hippie with a big Zapata mustache.
Mustaches, that'll actually come around later. There's a glorious scene with a fake mustache that's just perfection. But basically, we go from Doug being like, oh, my parents died, to him basically saying that now he's questioning his faith. And so Father Stewart tells him, go and travel, like, go where God will not follow. And so he's like, okay, like, whatever. So then we cut to a scene. They do a musical montage. It's lame. We cut to a scene where Doug is just wandering around this, like, random-ass forest. And you're like, okay, like, this looks like any park ever. And then in big letters, it just says China. Because, I mean, where would God not go? Like, obviously, it's China.
Communist China.
Couldn't think of a bathhouse.
I mean, personally, going from the U.S., I would feel like that's more godless. But, like, China, all right, that's what we're going with.
They do have Tanuki there.
No, that's Japan.
I know, I'm being silly.
He's being American.
You're going to really enjoy the rest of this because they kind of play along with the whole Asian culture, wrong Asian culture situation. So that's fitting. So basically he's wandering through this forest in like his high top Converse, a white t-shirt and jeans, as one is to do. And he looks down at his compass and he mutters to himself, oh, China is east.
I feel like that's a deeper statement than, like, I feel like that,
Is that a lie?
That means a lot of stuff.
That's straight up in the movie.
Sorry, I think I'm getting distracted by the fact that we're talking about a shitty movie. That I just wasn't even thinking about lies for a second. So.
Nope, that's exactly the first thing that comes out of his mouth while he's, in the forest of China.
China is east.
So of course at this point we encounter ninjas. Very Chinese ninjas.
Oh, yeah.
A girl in a white karate uniform and straw hat gets shot with an arrow like 15 feet in front of him. And he's like,
Uma Thurman, no!
what the hell's happening? Exactly. That's where the budget went. It was all for her to be in the movie.
It was Kill Bill Volume 3.
No, you'd have to get a shot of her feet to blow the whole budget.
Oh.
True.
They
Damn,
just used AOCs instead as a stand-in.
Oh, that would have quadrupled the
hope.
budget. I just picture a Ben Shapiro episode where he's just talking about the magnificent movie known as VelociPastor because it has the forbidden feet in them.
Well, not only do they talk about communist China and the problems that poses, but also there are feats of strength performed in there, mainly by AOC's character.
Proud feet!
Proud feet.
Thank you, Ben.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So essentially he runs over and he tries to save her and she is speaking Chinese to him. He doesn't understand, but then she starts just saying Dragon Warrior over and over. And then she hands him this like rock thing that kind of looks like a dinosaur claw. And so he's holding it. He cuts himself. We see where this is going.
He's Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, he then, at the next scene, he wakes back up at the church, and he's basically telling
In
Father
America.
Stewart. Yeah, exactly, in America.
Bullshit?
No, 100%.
Oh, is this all just a bad dream?
He keeps talking
He
about this
went
recurring
west.
nightmare. Yep, he went back west. He's been having this nightmare about this happening over and over again.
Did
And
you know that Freddy Krueger was Asian?
No, I'm not going anywhere near
it's
that.
Scary Terry, bitch.
Thank you.
You can run, but you can't hide, bitch!
So basically he wakes up and Father Stewart is all like, it's probably due to the disease that you picked up while you're over there. Like I told you, they don't bathe. Like, of course you're sick.
So they're
L. Ron
just
Hubbard?
super racist.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
got it.
100%. Like, he was like, I told you to go to the most godless place, but, like, this artifact that you brought back, like, this is definitely a disease.
You went too far.
Oof.
The
So,
stuff you pick up in China.
exactly. And it gets worse from here as far as the...
Oh, I thought you said it went uphill. Now it's
no,
downhill?
as far as, like, the racial stereotypes and, like, it's great.
Too close to the sun on wings of wax, my friend.
Exactly. So basically at this point, like, Doug just realizes, like, I'm hungry. and it's clearly for flesh.
Looks at his compass and he's like, I'm hungry.
Exactly.
It's meat o'clock.
So
flesh is in the east.
It was a missed opportunity to not just have him stay there and eat them, but, it's fine.
He'd just be hungry again another 30 minutes later.
Well, I mean, this is obviously an homage to American Werewolf in
He's
London.
He's actually allergic to MSG.
Well, obviously, this is an homage to American Werewolf in London, right? And he didn't immediately transform upon getting attacked by the ninjas in London, right?
This is true.
So
No, he tries to fuck some weird girl in an apartment first.
Yeah, exactly. So we got to get into that.
We're
first.
getting to that. Yeah, that's next.
Yeah.
So basically, he's hungry. He runs down the street. He bumps into this girl. She's clearly a very well-dressed lady of the night, but in the daytime situation. And she's obviously like giving a homeless man some money and like sucking on a lollipop at the same time. Like, it's just a very unique look.
That's where the budget went.
Yeah. She's really cute. I really enjoyed her performance.
Welcome to our new show called That's Where the Budget Went.
But the thing that I love about this character is that her first line in the movie is, I'm lit up.
You haven't fucked me well enough. Sorry.
I mean, it's better than that. I mean, whoever wrote this, like, props. But if she basically just says, I'm lit up, hot to trot. Where do you want me tonight, Daddy-O?
Oh, yeah, that's much
Michael,
better.
did you write this movie?
I would...
I'm hot to trot. Where would you like me, Daddy-O?
I'm hot to trot. Where do you want me, Daddy-O? Ready to go. Ooh-wee.
No, there is a Michael scene later. We'll get to that.
I'm scared. I'm genuinely scared now.
So basically, she utters that classic line, at which point the pimpiest looking pimp turns around and immediately slaps her across the face. Immediately.
Like, how pimpy are we talking?
Oh my god, like the hat, the coat, the big beard,
all purple,
balding, 100%.
Does he have a pimp cup?
Or cane?
They
then
don't.
He would not be the pimpiest.
I'm the pimpiest.
We're gonna get into. He's the hero of this movie. Honestly, like,
okay.
This pimp he's killing it.
You can come, but you can't hide, bitch.
So basically, he slaps her across the face, and then he's all like, Carol, what's my name? And she kind of like mutters, and then he's like, Carol, like, what's my name? And she goes, Frankie Mermaid. And he goes, so why is my name Frankie Mermaid? And she goes, because you're swimming in bitches.
Seems like a reasonable enough thing to me, yes.
I gotta call bullshit.
Nope. I'm not that good.
I would be ashamed of myself if I didn't at least try.
I wish I was that clever. It's so funny.
Carol, sex is like an ocean. I'm drowning in it.
So, of course, like, with that line, like, how does it get better from here? Well, his next line is literally, Sammy, if you stuffed dicks in your mouth like the way you did with that sandwich, I'd be a millionaire by now.
These are, I like the dialogue in this movie.
Wait, Sammy,
it's very
who-
Kevin Smith.
Oh, he's yelling at across the street at the other girl that works for him.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a pimp, you don't just have a single hoe,
Yeah,
sir.
not just
No,
Carol.
not at all.
Yeah.
No.
Carol's the bottom bitch, from what I gather.
Yes.
Accurate.
She needs to be reminded. Probably a new hire. Yes.
Exactly.
He may just be trying to keep the pimp hand strong, sir.
Also fair point.
So he essentially tells her, like, you're working the park tonight. Great, whatever. So she's out there working the park, and she's, like, held up by this dude who's like, give me all your money. And she's like, I don't have money unless you give it to me. Like, that's how this works.
I'm afraid you don't understand the dynamic of my profession.
Yeah,
here.
exactly. And so he's just like, well, then take me to who has the money. And she's like, great, whatever. And so then Doug also is at the park freaking out. And
I
like,
was going to say, why is Doug inconveniently auditing this entire process? Is he just standing like Dahmer-esque in the background like,
prostitutes are wild. Huh.
he's just like,
Prostitutes are in the East.
Beat me to the punch.
So basically, like, he's there, he's freaking out, and then he turns into a dinosaur. Like, this obviously, like, clearly this is just what happens.
It's the transformation sequence, like in American Werewolf in London.
Exactly.
I was gonna ask, because I think that's the whole reason Shane got me to watch that movie, is for the practical effects of him. And I will agree. I think I even said it. Like, it is a very, very jarring movie when it gets to that sequence. Now, is this when Doug turns into the Velociraptor? Is it like just A shot, B shot, and he's a dinosaur, or is there like actually like his feet grow bigger and like
Equally jarring, but in
like a
another
fucked up animorph?
So, unfortunately, they don't go that far into it. I mean, they definitely, like, you get clips of it where it's like, oh, he's changing. You hear it more so than you see it. But once he changes...
Delicately folding his pants.
But, like, once he changes, you're like, all right, like, this is pretty cool. Like, not as, like, crappy of, like, a dinosaur situation that you would expect. So I enjoyed, like, that part of it, that they actually were like, okay, this is our trope. Like, let's put the effort here.
So he doesn't just fall down off screen and all of a sudden
Just
up
pop
into
up.
the shot comes a raptor.
I'm a dinosaur now.
Oh, roar!
Roar.
See?
Ready to tip the scales of justice.
No, you get, like, the whole, like, there's the teeth, there's the blood, there's the whole scene of him eating the dude. And then Carol is basically thrown to the ground out of the way, but witnesses the whole thing. So here we come upon the scene that, like, gives me the most Michael vibes. So basically, after this whole night takes place, Doug wakes up again, but this time he's in a girl's room. He's in Carol's bed. He's naked. Carol walks in holding a cup of coffee, and she's just, like, in this, like, weird old-timey, like, grandma nightgown, but it's, like, kind of still good. And, like, I don't know. I have mixed feelings
you
about
hit
it. Yeah, I mean, I think I would.
Would you super smash?
Would you smash or pass? Hulk, pass.
She's a cute girl. It works for her. Watch the movie. So basically, he sits up in bed, and the first fucking thing out of his mouth is, "Hello, my child." Which Michael has done before. I know this. I would guarantee this.
Oh, daddy, it's not my daddy.
I woke up in a random girl's room and I'm like, hello, my child. Why am I naked?
Spare the
Becky's
rod.
friend would really like to hear that.
Use the rod?
Spare the rod, spoil the child.
Yep.
Hot rod.
Nope. Is the line bullshit?
No.
Okay.
How have we missed stuff
I
already?
think you've
I'm
missed
sure we have.
3.
All right.
Jesus.
So she's all like, last night was, like, really amazing. And so he starts to panic because he's a man of the cloth. Like, he's not supposed to be sleeping with prostitutes.
Oh, isn't he?
Well, you know, it's a movie. And so he's like, this can never happen again. And she's just, like, super bummed. And he was like,
Oh.
he asks her, was it bad?
How bad is it?
And so she goes on about, like, well, it was weird. It happened so fast. I think I peed myself. And so he's like, was it your first time too?
Did that happen?
Oh, 100% it happened.
Yeah.
She peed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm sure she was probably alluding to seeing the transformation and not, anything untoward, Michael, if you're...
Michael, they didn't have sex.
Oh. Okay.
They didn't make the boom boom terrible fuck sounds.
The boom boom and the die.
She's talking about the dinosaur transformation. He's talking about,
the
I
die.
think I had sex.
And it felt
Are you caught up now, Michael?
Oh, and then it's the whole miscommunication where one person thinks one thing and another person thinks the other thing, and
Okay,
it's
shut
hilarious.
up now. But
Yeah, you can edit that out, Michael. And I think we all would have been better off for it.
Everyone's better off when I don't speak.
Michael, we're going to hold to the old adage that I've used for writing films, and we're going to keep it for your podcast dialogue, which is less chat, more splat.
Yes, Dad.
People have been saying we've been too nice to Michael lately, so if we want to double down
Who?
and just really, really hurt him, we can do it.
Who the fuck said that?
People.
Quit running the slobber stick in your dick liquor, Michael.
I mean, it's really a bummer to not have a face for TV and not have a voice for podcasts. Like, what does that leave for Michael?
Shame.
Underground.
That's why he likes the game Metro so much.
I'm the underminer. I'm beneath you, but nothing's beneath me.
Is that a Venture Brothers reference?
No, that's The Incredibles.
Thank you.
Oh.
For the girl who doesn't get movie quotes. Come on. All right, moving on.
Speaking of cum.
No. So they come to an understanding about what's happening. So she basically is like, bro, like, no, we didn't have sex. You turned into a dinosaur and you ate somebody who attacked me. So he tells her he doesn't even believe that, like, this could happen. He also's like, even if dinosaurs did even exist, like, I still don't believe this. Because obviously dinosaurs never existed.
Right.
So essentially, she's like, I'll take you to the body. Like, I'll show you. Like, I helped covered up the evidence and, like, saved your ass.
Like, you're fucking welcome.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, like, you know, when you transform into a dinosaur, you don't have any clothes. So essentially, he's like, do you have anything I can wear? And she gives him a velour tracksuit that says juicy across the ass, because classic.
Would you smash Doug?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Is it bullshit that it says juicy?
Yeah, it is. It's not a tracksuit. He's actually in a knit mini dress that is bright orange, and, like, his legs are, like, out there. Like, his ass is almost out there.
Nice.
Nice.
Don't tease me like
It's
that.
it's a good look, okay? So basically, she takes him
That
out.
was the sound of John's boner.
John, you're going to want to see this
That's
movie.
coming up.
It's great.
Someone get
It's
Michael a
an
paper
up-and-comer.
towel.
Whew. I'm getting hot under the collar here.
Salute.
The Priestley collar?
Yes.
Perfect.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Michael's preying on everybody out here.
Hello, my child.
Jesus Christ. Don't do that. It only excites him.
So basically, they go to the park. She shows him the body. He's like, I don't believe you. This isn't real. And he was like, what are the circumstances that you were out here anyway? And she's just like, well,
I was sucking dick.
well, basically, like, I'm a hooker, but I'm also a pre-med lawyer. But, like, there's not a... Because
No, she
They can
doesn't
be-
say
they can
pre-med
be
lawyer,
both.
does she?
she is a pre-med lawyer, yeah. Because, like, how
Okay.
else do you pay for school?
I was gonna say
You pay
it's
for your-
2017 when this came
Yeah.
out. You know, it's
People
totally
can be
acceptable
pre-med
for...
lawyers. Okay,
Yeah,
that's fair,
exactly.
I guess.
And so she, like, is at this point, like, reaching out, and she's, like, touching Doug. And Doug's like, don't touch me with thy sinning hands, you Jezebel, because she's a hooker, and so now he has to show her the true love of the church.
What a
Real
trollop.
missed opportunity to call her Jezebel, but
It's not that kind of
Michael,
movie.
this is no, John, this is a family
Whoa,
movie.
whoa,
I'm just used to
whoa.
yelling at Michael. Sorry, my
Okay,
bad.
fair enough. Yeah, okay.
So,
Is for the Christians amongst us, is the Jezebel line bullshit?
no.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna quit with dialogue because it's lost on me
I
now.
will tell you that the quotes, for the most part, directly out of the movie. Some of them I paraphrase a little bit for clarity, but, like,
Fair.
the quotes are just
They're not lies.
perfect.
I'm amazed.
So basically, Carol convinces Doug, like, hey, like, you could really do some good with this power. Like, this could be the most priestly thing you've ever done by, like, killing all the bad guys. She specifically...
Very Christian.
Yeah, exactly. And when she specifically mentions, like, you could eat all the pedophiles, and I just think that that's really, really funny. So essentially, she's just like, anytime somebody comes into confession, like, if they say that they're a really bad person, like, you could just eat them, and, like, the world would be a better place. And he's just like, no, like, I can't do that. Like, that's not, like, my
That's the whole
purpose.
point of confessional.
and at this point, like, he randomly transforms like a werewolf. Like, it's not like he can control when he transforms.
Right, and it's only happened this one time. So he's just like, this is ridiculous.
And meanwhile, she's getting like all Boondock Saints on him.
Oh, yeah, she's just like, we're doing this. This is a thing now. So at this point, he is like, I'm late for confessional. And runs back to the church.
Oh boy, look at the time. I got confessional going on. I'll see you later.
But I mean,
It's meat o'clock.
we get a really great scene of him running through the forest in this like orange mini dress, so it's worth it.
Was he in China?
It's the same forest, 100%. Absolutely.
Oh, so he's going east.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So, of course, we cut to the next scene. He's doing the confessional thing. And who would come in and confess but our good friend, Frankie Mermaid. And so he's just like, all right, like, how long has it been, my child, since you last confessed? And he's like, it's been a while, but, like, we only have time for, like, the last 4 days, because this is going to take me a minute to, like, get out all my sins. And so he literally starts off his confession with, I once stole candy from a baby, and then I threw the baby in the river, because snitches.
Fair, yeah. I understand that.
He then lights his cigarette and starts to basically brag about all the crimes he's committed over the last 4 days, which include pimping, arson, drugs, murder, the huge.
I went over to China, got an yeast infection.
How long you been sitting on that one, Shane?
About 2 seconds.
You should really see a doctor for that.
Trust me, I tried.
So we come to find out that Frankie Mermaid was, just doing his usual thing. And like a couple months ago, he blew up this car in front of the church, and this like pastor guy comes out and he's crying. And it was so funny that it gave Frankie a hard on, because murder and explosions are hilarious. At this point, VelociPastor.
Can I call I'm going to call bullshit on the hard on.
Nope.
Did he actually?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
fair enough. I can't kink shame.
Murder, it's a real turn on.
There.
So basically, Doug like can't control himself at this point. He goes full VelociPastor. He reaches through the confessional and just like totally shreds Mermaid. And then there's like a really bloody fake blood scene that happens, and then him just yelling like no. It's way over the top, but it's Frankie Mermaid's death, so it needs to be.
I was gonna say, how does he yell no? Is it like no or no?
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's impossible.
Oh no, I'm being eaten. Ah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's my submission to whenever I apply for roles.
Perfect.
Oh no, I thought that was you reenacting your bedroom foray.
No, there's a little more sobbing
Michael.
in there. A little more sobbing in there. Oh no, this never happened.
And the onlookers go wild.
They usually do.
Doug regrets this murder immensely. So he just goes to Carol's house, and he's like literally hiding under a pile of newspapers in her room until she shows up. I don't know why. It's just
Sounds legit.
It's very funny.
It's not bullshit.
No.
They'll never see me here.
He's just like hiding it. It's so funny.
How badly is he hidden?
Oh,
Is
it's
it like
like
a
four
pile
newspapers like opened up all the way. And
the
so
perfect disguise.
she comes home, he like pops out, and she's like, is everything like cool? And he's like, I did a bad thing. And he confesses, and then he basically tells her like, I killed Frankie Mermaid. And she's like, oh my God, like that's the greatest news I've ever heard. This is great. Clearly we need to make some more rules for this dinosaur murder thing that we're going to do together, because now that you've done this, I'm free. So at this point, a musical montage ensues. Doug is working out, preaching, singing hymns, eating people in dino mode, and then hanging out with Carol. Like this, it's a montage for like 2 minutes of him just doing all these activities.
We're gonna have a montage.
Is it like 80s montage, like
100%.
music?
Oh,
okay,
it's perfect.
Cool. Sweet.
Sweatband while he's working out.
He's got like the gym shorts that are really short and like the wife beater on, and like he's going to town.
Does he punch like a giant hunk of meat, or they couldn't afford that scene?
No, they couldn't afford that. He's definitely in like a hotel gym somewhere that was like, they snuck in and like filmed this scene.
Haha, they left the door open.
Or like his buddy like worked at a hotel and they were like, okay, come on, like you get like 20 minutes. So of course, like we get that. And the best like part of the montage, in my opinion, is that like there's a scene of Carol like attending church finally, she's like going to mass, and he just like reaches down with a communion wafer and like puts it in her mouth, and it's just like so over the top. It's
Put it in with 2 fingers.
oh, like he
No, with 3.
you know what it's like, John.
He helps
Oh,
her
I
chew.
It's just like,
Here's how you work the jaw, Carol.
I lost my place. All right, let's.
Now, when he
I
starts
usually
slinging
do.
the holy water at her face, neck, and chest, that's the real test.
Ooh.
I mean, he's converting her. It's a good thing to do.
Ooh.
So basically, we get through the montage, and then all of a sudden, we're just at a ninja encampment. Because why not?
Oh yeah, gotta test out your newly formed powers. Yeah.
But it's a local one. Like, it's just down the street. Like, this is not in China anymore. We're, like, wherever. I don't even know, actually.
How do we know? He could have gone east. They just never specified it.
No,
Or do they?
it's definitely local.
Oh.
We basically find out that there's this, like, underground ninja drug trafficking ring. The leader basically is explaining this all to this, like, white boy ninja. And when I say, like, white boy ninja, like, homeboy's white. He's got this, like, stupid white, like, cloth wrapped around his face that's see-through. Like, he's everyone you've seen at the grocery store this last month. Like, it's just
Fucking
ridiculous.
White guilt milk toast piece of human garbage.
Hey, yo, Sanchez, go get me a burrito.
And if you are a person that got that reference, report to Shane for the Shane Hunt Award, because that is a very esoteric reference. My
Nope.
friend.
Indeed.
So essentially, the leader's explaining to White Boy Ninja that, like, we really need to get rid of this dragon warrior because, like, he's gonna ruin our coke selling plan. Like, he's just gonna, like, throw it off. Like, this is gonna be terrible. And then, I kid you not, they do an evil laugh scene for a full minute. Like, it is obnoxious.
I like that.
It's got Big John energy. You would thoroughly enjoy it.
Do they cut between both of theirs face
Uh-huh.
while they're laughing?
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Is there
I can
awkward
fuck with
cuts
it.
between it too,
Uh-huh.
where it's like they
Mid-laugh.
start laughing again?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Classic.
yes, that's beautiful.
If you could just not
Tasty.
do that on camera, Michael, thank you.
I'm
So-
sorry. I get really excited
Sir,
for
sir,
bad
can you
movies
put your
like
mask
this.
back on, please? Sir, this is a Wendy's. You need to have your mask on.
Sure.
I
It goes
cannot
over
be
your nose.
contained. If I had
That
a
goes for
dollar
your
every
stupid
time.
fucking nose.
Chin diapers. Sorry, I had flashbacks there.
I like how vexed you look.
So Father Stork confronts Doug about his relationship with Carol. And Doug, like, tries to briefly explain to Father Stork, like, what's going on. Like, he's like, you just don't understand this, like, dinosaur thing I'm going through, without telling him that that's what he's going through 100%. And
It's like
so
puberty.
basically, like, Father Stork's like, well, what would your parents think? So we get some, like, really good flashbacks to, like, Doug and his parents before they died, and they were so proud of him, and that he was their favorite child and only child, and just, like, loved him. Perfect. So Doug's just like, oh, like, yeah, what would they think? It doesn't matter, I'm gonna keep doing dino murders.
Yeah, makes sense.
It'd be funny if he was like, doesn't matter, they're dead.
That would be better. But basically, Father Stork's just, like, not having it. And so he's like, I'm going to take you to this dude. It's not sanctioned by the church, but I'm going to get you exorcised. Like, we're getting this taken care of. Like, we're done. So he's
That was
just...
in the montage earlier, though.
Right, in the hotel gym.
Yeah, it's the same but different because a man's involved. It's not Doug.
Aw.
So essentially, he goes to this, like, creepy dude's house. They, like, try to do an exorcism. It doesn't work, but, like, Doug gets pretty riled up and, like, slashes Father Stork. And, like...
Gets riled up.
Yeah, he's just, like, riled up.
What a little rascally goofball.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
just being a real knucklehead, isn't he?
You know, happens
Aw,
to the best of
shucks.
us. So, of course, like, Father Stork's super injured, and it gives him flashbacks to, you know,
Of Nam.
his time in the war.
I
Bro.
And I didn't go too in depth into this because some of those scenes, like, you have to watch them to really, like, get them. But, like, it...
You...
What?
Oh, sorry, you watched Thanksgiving, right? Like, you actually went and...
No, I haven't.
Oh.
Michael?
Michael?
No, I saw some sort of, like, video on this a long time ago. Didn't someone, like, explode in one of his flashbacks or something to that effect?
That was to you, Courtney.
Oh, to me, I
Yes.
was like... Yeah, so... He basically, like, there's a scene with one of his war buddies that's really funny, and then his wife just randomly shows up on the battlefield, walks towards him, steps on a landmine, and he just gets covered in blood. Like, her body doesn't go anywhere. He's just, like, got a bucket of blood dumped on him.
Like from above, but not like towards him. Like
I mean, it was like kind of at him, but also like he was drenched. And his two buddies were just like, oh, that's a bummer. Who stood there and watched the whole thing.
Oh, man, I hate it when my wife just explodes into a mist of blood. Oh, man. But, I mean, it's Tuesdays, am I right, guys?
The reason I brought up Thanksgiving is because if you have watched it, if you're listening and you've seen it, it reminds me of the farewell song when the guy's friend dies. They have a montage song that plays, and it has similar, like, random, nonsensical images that just, like, kind of flash onto the screen of them doing stupid stuff. But I think it's the similar kind of thing.
It's the same thing where it's just like, this doesn't do anything for the story, but it's still really funny. So essentially he has those flashbacks, and then like end scene, we're back to Doug again, because obviously star of the show. So basically Doug is like on his way to Carol's house. He gets attacked by ninjas. And Carol's like, oh my God, like, are you okay? And he's like, I'm bleeding. So she's like, kiss me. And they just have sex while he's bleeding. And then we get a sex montage.
Nice.
They are awoken the next morning by more ninjas in the bedroom. They clearly kill them in their underwear still. Like, they just, like, pop out of bed and, like, kill these ninjas. One of them, though, like, it wakes up from his unconsciousness and tells him where the secret ninja camp is and then dies.
Thanks.
Sounds like how they tried to make the first Daredevil movie.
Shots fired.
Oh.
Ooh.
And so obviously Ninja dies, they start making out again. Like they were having a time, you know? It's his first time.
I mean, like life-threatening, things like that, it gets the blood pumping.
Yeah, exactly.
Finds a way.
Yes.
So while Doug and Carol are doing the nasty, Father Stort was kidnapped by the ninjas now, and he's got an eye patch for some reason. I don't even think Doug hit him in the eye. I don't really think they explain that. Maybe I don't remember.
Wait, is he evil now?
No, not evil now.
He doesn't have an eye patch, and that's bullshit.
No, he does have an eye patch.
Oh.
Good stat, though.
It is a good guess.
Tried.
So basically, like, the lead ninja wakes up Father Stort, and he's just like, let me tell you about our secret ninja school. Let me tell you all our plans. Like you do with any random guy that you kidnap off the street. And essentially, the plan is for these ninjas to start distributing coke to the whole neighborhood. Then they're going to cut off the supply, and then all of these people are going to need to join rehabs. And these rehabs are going to be run by Christians so that all of these people can be converted. And this is their master plan to create an army of God, for God.
There's one thing Catholics hate more. I can't say that joke. If there's one thing Catholics hate above all else, it's Christians.
Exactly. And vice versa. Like, this is an ongoing war.
Yeah, as we found out. Yeah, School of Prayer and Miraculous.
Not my Jesus.
No. The wrong book, praying to the wrong idol. It's not going to work.
Listen, what's more important? Your religion or the truth?
Dang Slytherins.
Yeah, the
Courtney,
whole...
you may speak.
Oh. Can I speak now?
Ooh.
Sorry.
We are not on that show any longer, gents.
But you can now stream and binge the whole thing on YouTube.
Hogwarts School of Prayer and Miracles. Boo, 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 boo.
Don't ever do that again.
It was worth it for the face that you made.
So basically, they explain to him the whole plan. White Boy Ninja does the evil laugh thing again, because obviously...
For another minute?
Oh my god, it's so long. It's just ridiculous. I skipped it the third time watching this movie. I was like, I can't. So then we basically get to move on. Doug finds the ninjas. He dresses up like the Terminator, like leather jacket, jeans, Jonah said he was more of a greaser. I really felt like it was supposed to be Terminator vibes, but...
Does he have a dinosaur tail coming out from behind the coat?
He does, but it's not that kind of tail, if you catch my drift.
Oh, yeah.
Big dick.
Wait.
No tail. Carol also is gonna come fight, and her attire is very inappropriate for this fight. She's just in like this black like leotard jumpsuit thing that's like cut down to the belly button in the front and completely backless. And so she pairs that with like this leopard print fur coat and heels. And she's just
Nice.
like, great, like, let's go fight these ninjas.
Yeah, how else are you supposed to come fight?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a video game principle where,
Kyle, there
for
comes Slinger.
female protagonist, the least clothing, the more armor. It makes perfect sense to me.
Makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so they show up to the battlefield, and it's revealed that White Boy Ninja is Doug's lame younger brother. And the only reason he joined the ninjas was to get back at his brother for being the favorite of the family. So they play the same clips again of the family, except Sam, the younger brother, is in the background of all the clips while they're telling him that he's like Doug's the only son and he's the favorite son and they love him so much. And then Sam's just like,
The fuck?
it's so funny.
Beautiful.
So basically, they go through all that, and they start fighting. Because obviously, like, now he has to kill his brother. Carol is in the background. She takes off her heels. She's just, like, wailing on the ninjas. Like, she took on, like, 5 while Doug's just fighting his brother, who's much smaller than him. Like, this makes no sense. Like, Carol was clearly the better fighter. So I don't even know why Doug was there.
I mean, she got to get them dollar bills.
I mean, I don't know why he
Yo.
had to save her in the first place if she could just take out, like, 5 ninja with her shoe.
I mean, I would assume that she would also be training in that training montage.
No,
Montage!
she's just like walking around, like sucking on lollipops and like wearing ridiculous outfits.
That's training
exercise
of a
enough.
sort.
Yeah, we don't shame around here.
Fair enough. So basically, they're fighting. He defeats his brother, Sam. So Doug's just like, all right, cool, like, what next? And this giant-ass ninja walks out of the tent with a sword, because before it was just hand-to-hand combat and nunchucks. And so Sword Ninja goes up to Carol, slices her across the chest, and she just falls over and starts coughing up blood.
Oh, shit.
Is the nunchuck thing bullshit?
No.
Oh, because I feel like they wouldn't have the money for choreography for nunchucks.
You think this is
It's
choreographed?
just like he's swinging it like a just like a flail or something like that. I don't know.
Nope, they're just, it's mostly hand-to-hand combat. Sam, the white boy ninja, does have a sword at one point, and he's like, Doug, you can't wield this sword because it's the sword of my ancestors. And Doug's like, we have the same ancestors. And it's just really stupid. But
Seems
essentially,
like they're doing like day of writing.
oh my gosh. It's like the whole thing was improv, honestly. So Carol's on the ground dying. Doug runs over. He's holding her. She's like, you don't need me. You can do this. And he's just like kissing her while she's bleeding out of her mouth and dead.
Like tonguing her?
No, but like his mouth is pretty covered in blood. Like when he's done kissing her. And it's just like,
I mean, we've all been there, right, guys?
it's a thing.
A man's got to do what a man's got to do.
We call that the lipstick of love.
Would you like some marinara for your breadstick, boys?
And how?
Always.
I always wind up with the garlic sauce, though.
I told you need to see a doctor for that, Shane.
Oh, no, it's them.
Hasn't fallen off yet.
It's all that frothy stuff.
That's rabies.
Rabies, scabies, and babies.
Wow.
You know it's
geez.
real. You know it's real when Courtney looks away, goes wide-eyed, and doesn't know what to say for like 5 seconds.
She questions her life choices.
That's where she goes, why oh why didn't I take the blue pill?
Well, why didn't he take the blue pill?
Thank you, Shane.
So she's dying. Doug loses his shit. Main ninja guy comes out and he's like, we're gonna fight to the death. And so at this point, we finally get full VelociPastor in its glory. Like, we haven't seen it, like, full body shot yet. Like, they've given us glimpses because they've been teasing it this whole time. So we finally get, like, full body shots, and you're like, all right, like, this is pretty great. Like, this big fight's about to go down. This fight lasts for, like, 4 seconds. Like, it was so fast. And so...
I mean, it's a raptor.
Raptor damn near killed her.
But the thing is, like, the reason...
Oh no.
Michael, stop milking it, for God's sakes.
I'm sorry.
He wanted to catch up to the 1 minute like maniacal laugh. Apparently,
I'm really afraid for that.
No,
That would be terrible.
No.
Oh no!
Clip that.
So the reason the fight ends is he gets stabbed in the leg with an arrow by the ninja leader guy. And apparently the arrow has some kind of like turn off dinosaur mode antidote in it. So Doug transforms back into a person, but he's so enraged that he just like grabs the guy's head and rips it off. But the head is a mannequin head with glued on eyebrows and a mustache and a goatee so that it looks like the leader in a very stereotypical way. And he just holds it over his head for like a minute and a half. And Jonah's like, does he need to like drink the blood? And I was like, I don't know. Maybe he does. It was aggressive. And so he throws the head on the ground and it rolls over and it like faces the camera. And it's very funny. So at this point, you know, he's holding it up in the air. It's bleeding everywhere. He's drenched in like kind of ridiculous fake blood. Like it's clearly like water with red food coloring in it. Because again, we couldn't afford anything else because the Raptor was like big budget. And so while he's holding that, basically a quote from Jesus comes across the screen and it says, "Only through the elimination of violence will we finally achieve peace." Because
after ripping a guy's head off, literally removing it from his fucking body. It's very Christ-like.
I'm sorry. I have to. I know it's true, but I still have to say bullshit.
Bullshit on what part?
On the quote.
The
Does
quote
it really
is
say
there.
that?
It absolutely is there.
Oh, but you said what part?
well, because
I gotta
again,
get
you
them
can't
sweet
just
non-points.
I know.
you can't say just bullshit generally.
Well, I thought the whole thing was bullshit, but if I had to be specific, then
now I gotta chase down these points that aren't gonna get me anything.
It helps me sleep at night. Helps me calm.
I gotta pretend that this has a point.
It's not a quote from Jesus.
It's not a quote from Jesus. Does anybody know this quote?
It's Gandhi.
It's Gandhi.
Oh.
Shane, was that blind stabbing that just worked in your favor, or did you actually know that?
No, it sounds like something Gandhi would say. Come on.
That's fair. That's fair. I was gonna say MLK,
Before or after
but
he let his wife starve to death.
I mean, through the
He wasn't
elimination of
married.
violence.
Oh.
what?
Okay,
I don't.
pass. Doug takes Carol to the doctor. She's fine. She's totally fine. Don't ask again. She's fine. The doctor.
Is she fine?
She's so fine. Like he asks her like 8 times. She's fine. It says
okay?
across the screen.
okay?
She's fine.
Are you okay?
She's
Are you
fine.
okay?
100% fine.
Okay.
Michael's love life all over again.
Hey,
It was fine.
I get
everything
the
okay?
font right across my eyes. She's
everything-
fine.
Shane, is everything okay? Is it okay? Are we okay? Courtney,
Shane, are you
we
fine?
okay?
Did you just pee yourself?
It was his first
Piss, you
time.
stupid dick.
Well, you stupid dick piss.
Totally fine. The doctor comes out into the waiting room. He's like, yeah, you can go see her. Like, she's great. And then he lights up a cigarette in the waiting room.
Well, he just
as
came
you
out
do.
into the waiting room.
Yeah,
So
it's not in the room. And they're not in, like, a hospital. Like, they clearly, again, like, had a friend that worked at, like, a primary care doctor. So she's sitting there, like, sitting straight up with, like, a paper vest on and, like, her clothes underneath. And, like, she's just like, yeah, I'm fine. I was bleeding out of my mouth and, like, dying earlier, but, like, I'm cool now.
Yeah,
She slept it
That
off.
makes
Yeah,
perfect
because
sense.
she's fine.
he only cut the silicone.
Exactly. At this point, they cut to a scene. They're standing out next to a car on the hillside. Doug has quit the church. There's like $1 billion bounty on his head. And he's now going to pursue his dino path of destruction. Like, this is like his goal. And so he and Carol get in the car. They ride off into the sunset. And this is like the end of the movie. The great part about this is I've actually read that there's a script out there for VelociPastor 2. They're just waiting to make it. In the process of writing this, I actually reached out to the actor who played Doug because he only has 2,000 followers on Instagram. So I was like, he might respond. This could happen. He didn't even open my message. So as of this moment, the Disinformed podcast has beef with Greg Cohen. Like, we're gonna fight him.
Hear that, Greg? Coming for you, son.
Like, it's over for him. Like, I don't care that you've been, like, a background character on Blue Bloods and, like, you've played a cameraman in some other TV show at this point. You're done. Like, it's over for you.
She also doesn't care just how good your butt looks in a skirt.
That's right. You take those thick thighs that look like tree trunks and you get them out of here.
Wait,
Doug.
how thick? Are we talking 2 C's, 3 C's?
2.
How many?
2 C's.
2? Oh, okay.
Hey, Doug, you better look down at your watch to know what direction this beating's coming from. It's coming from the east.
Compass, John?
No, his watch.
I
Oh,
thought that's
gee,
what you
look
said.
at the
I thought he
time.
was
It's
looking at his
east.
watch
No,
and
it's
it showed east.
compass.
All I heard is come.
Yeah, that explains why we lost you.
Come?
Don't mind if I do.
Yum, 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 yum.
And so that, boys, concludes the end of my retelling of the VelociPastor.
Is it-
Yipes.
Might as well
Is
just
it
rip
possible to
Go.
get a hand
job.
on that script? No.
You want, like, my manuscript that I wrote?
No.
The sequel.
The sequel
The
script?
sequel.
No, we can't. We can't afford it.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
No.
Time to start that Patreon.
I mean, if we could find someone to make that movie, I would be very here for it. I think that would be
I don't want to
incredible.
make the movie. That's our next fanfic read.
We don't deserve it.
Just read the script.
No.
Oh.
You might as well rip this Band-Aid off and tell us the lies that you planted in there, because
Yeah,
I mean, Shane got 2.
I got nothing.
2 out of 7.
that's right.
And I got
Michael
1.
just says,
I got the juicy.
is that a lie?
I got the juicy. I got the juicy tracksuit.
No, you didn't.
Oh. No juicy for me.
Oh, right. The opening of the story, he is not preaching about how evolution can't be true. He was preaching out of the book of Job, and he was talking about smiting his enemies. Good foreshadowing
That
for
makes
later.
Well
So he's always
done.
had vengeance
Yeah.
on his mind.
The quote from Father Stort that I told you they don't bathe over there, that was me.
Well done.
Saying that the dinosaur costume was really good was straight up bullshit. This thing is like paper mache, like dead-eye bullshit. Like, it's hilarious.
You sold that very, very well.
Isn't the now that I think about it, isn't the dinosaur costume like the inflatable like dinosaur costume that you can get?
It looks kind
Like-
of like that, but when they
But if you bought
show
it
the
at
full
Walmart.
body,
Yeah.
it's got a humpback where the head of the human who's wearing it is, and then the mouth is down here. Like, I have a picture I can show you on After Dark. It is hilariously bad. Like, so bad.
It's awesome.
So that was one of the lies that kind of repeated itself throughout.
All right.
The tracksuit with juicy across the ass. We figured that one out. That was a lie. Let's see. And then Shane got the other one, which was, it was a Gandhi quote and not a quote from Jesus.
Not his Jesus.
Oh, no, I did have one more, actually. So I did list the montage where Doug is working out. He's singing hymns. He's doing, Jesus-y stuff. He's hanging out with Carol. Jonah said this was really cheap to throw in something in a list. I told him it's tradition. There's no singing hymns in this movie. They do 80s music montages, but nobody actually sings, which I really think was a missed opportunity.
That is a missed
That is,
opportunity.
yeah.
Like how Jonah is also a phantom on the episode.
I proofread it to him to make sure that it's actually entertaining, and he just kind of nods like he's listening.
Good boy.
And so we go from there.
It's a better proof than what I do, so
That's not shocking.
and it shows.
I feel like anything's a better proof than what you do.
Prove it.
The proof is in the
Proof it.
mispronunciation.
It's not high enough proof like the alcohol I have to drink to sit through a Michael episode.
Whew. Get him, Dad.
Or as Michael's like to say, the proof is in the putting it where it don't belong.
He is a liar and a frog.
Aw, jeez. Ooh-wee.
Treat every day like it's trash day.
That's because I am.
That was ridiculous, and we're moving away from this. Okay.
And me.
A phenomenal job, Courtney. Very well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Much appreciated. And there's going to be a lot of cinema talk here in the next little bit, because we do have the Shane discusses Tusk with everybody coming up. And then, of course, prior to that, we have the Limu, Emu, and Doug episode that Michael's going to be presenting.
And
Yes.
because of... I said this to Courtney when I saw her last, and that's I don't want our podcast to exclusively turn into a shitty movie or a movie reviewing podcast, but I think the same TikTok account that she found VelociPastor on, she sent me a clip of the same person recommending a movie called Butt Boy.
I have seen Butt Boy.
I'm not shocked.
I think I've mentioned Butt Boy before.
And
to
I was thinking it is a lot of fun to like deconstruct B movies. So maybe while I'm getting I don't know if the Kurt Cobain episode's really gonna work.
Of course.
There's a lot of holes.
Promises.
Well, I mean, that was the point, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm still trying to find like something that's reputable enough that it holds up.
No, you know what's funny about that, though, is Michael thought he was being clever, and he was actually even more clever than he thought.
Then he knew. Yeah.
Because Courtney Love's band is called Hole.
I did not know that.
We know.
And he didn't. So he gave himself credit and didn't even realize he didn't deserve it. But he did.
If I can make the Courtney episode work, I will.
I insist you do.
I just need to find I need to spend a little more time like finding a reputable source.
So you need to make it over.
Excuse me?
You need to make it over. It's all you want to be.
Is that whole quote? I hate that band.
The whole quote and nothing but the quote. So help me snog.
Can you open that episode if you do it with there's a Fall Out Boy song that Courtney Love is on, and it just opens with, "It's Courtney, bitch." And so like that needs to be in the episode.
I am working on different intro music for us.
Cool.
Like more like old Disinformed style where like we'll be talking over it kind of stuff, like more instrumental stuff.
Oh,
okay, not as crazy clippy. Maybe I can throw some subtle samples in there.
I will say though, it is interesting, like hearing the intro music now and then listening to some of the older episodes in season 2 and being like, oh, I can hear that's in the intro. It's cool. So it's funny.
I don't want to get ahead of myself, and I'm going to play something pretty close to the vest, but part of my motivation to start working on different intro music is because I want to learn how to vocal chop something.
Okay.
And the vocal chop is going to please probably just one person on this podcast. It's Shane. So I'm not going to say what the vocal chop is, but if it works, it's going to be probably pretty good. And if it doesn't work, I'll get to see Shane laugh, which is usually just the reason for the season. So
that's fair.
Well, you'll get the revenge of Kokora.
Much like cola.
You need more?
Get it? Because you heard that on the intro.
Indeed, it is not Cora.
It's cock.
Well, before we get on out of here, before we skedaddle and get, off like a prom dress, Michael has got to fill us in on why he is now currently called 5G.
Oh yeah, Mr. 5G
that's
over
fair.
here.
It's a very quick story. Only because I promised the guy I would kind of bring it up in this episode. So essentially, like everyone knew that I had gotten the vaccine when I was at John's said place of worship as I don't know why.
You can worship me there if you want.
No,
in the rectory.
I'm not. Yes,
You saw Jonah's offering to John when we were there.
I did.
I've never seen a man deep throat that well.
Show me how them tits fart.
Amen. Just like a sandbag. So essentially, so I go up to his coworker to try and pay, and he's like, "Oh, you're getting better reception now." I'm like, "Huh?" He's like, "Well, the 5G, like, with the vaccine and everything." I'm like, "Oh yeah, you know what? I have been getting a lot better connection nowadays." He's like, "Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna call you 5G from now on."
And you're like, "Are you my friend?" And he goes, "No, get the fuck out of here. I'm just your bartender."
He's like, "Do you want to start a podcast?"
Who's a good boy? Who's a story podcast? Who is funny?
You want to start a podcast?
Come here.
Well, how was
He
your
wants to pick you up.
Go for it.
Oh, I was gonna say he would pick you up only to put you down.
Most people do.
And how?
What were you saying, Shane?
How's your experience with getting the vaccine, Mr. Michael?
It was actually pretty painless. I wasn't waiting in line
Side
for
effect?
hours. No.
Nice.
It was less side effects than a flu shot.
For you, maybe.
The side of the shot stung for probably a day. Other than that, totally fine.
Shane, have you gotten it yet?
So, interesting way to dovetail is so I went
Uh-oh.
to go and get the vaccine, and I'm gonna admit that I'm a little bit embarrassed by the situation as it unfolded.
Okay.
I may have been a bit overzealous in that, you know, they have the lines where you have to pull up to the individuals, and so I'm rearing, I'm ready to go, and as I pull up, I stick my bare ass out of the window, and I'm like, I'm ready, Doc, give me the shot. Give it to me, give it, Daddy. Come on.
And he said, "Sir,
And
this is a Wendy's
They said,
drive-thru."
sir, this is a Wendy's. Yes, Melissa will not go with me anywhere now, unfortunately.
And then did the doctor lean over and give it a little, and then give you the shot on your ass or what?
Get it.
No, but did you get it yet, Shane?
Yes, I got it.
Any side effects for you?
It definitely made me feel sick. It spiked my blood pressure, and then it turned my nose into a geyser, which was a lot of fun.
Huh.
Yeah.
Kristen, well, Becky had side effects on her first shot, and she felt sick for the following day.
Mm.
And then her second dose, she was fine. Because both Kristen, my sister Kristen and Becky, they both got they're done with both rounds.
Yeah.
And then the second round for Kristen, like she was fucking sick as a dog the next day. Like she called out of work, and apparently they're saying that it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I definitely got major headaches. Was a little achy in and around the spot, and then I got phlegmy for some reason.
It's interesting to me to talk to people as they're getting it, because Michael, I think, is going to be more akin to myself because I never get side effects when I get flu shots.
Yeah,
I remember when Becky got her flu shot, and I would we're just, as you want to do, like you kind of like rib your friends or your significant others. Like she got her flu shot first, and she felt like shit, and I was like, you just don't take shots well. And then she's like, well, just wait until you take it. So I went and I got the flu shot and went to work and felt fine. Next morning felt fine. I was like, next. Well, congratulations to you both.
Oh yes, exciting times. But
It's
no,
not a small feat.
Melissa also headaches, so she and I had very
that
similar.
answers the question. So she did get her round too.
Yes. So it's
All
a
right.
good time
Well,
for
we're
everybody.
getting at the very least, Shane and Michael are getting closer to being able to be in the same room for a podcast, which would be kind of entertaining, I have to admit, to see both of your goofy faces next to each other. So
Cute.
Sure.
it would be very
Hot.
cute.
Well,
I'd pay for the porn.
Spicy.
You'd pay for anything, John. You don't have high standards.
I wouldn't. I actually wouldn't.
He has an allowance. Remember, we established this, so
Yeah.
he can
My
only
wife's
pay up to that,
privilege.
and then after that, yeah.
yeah, he doesn't pay for anything.
People are. If you guys clip this is like career ruining shit.
I mean,
Put it
John
in the folder for me,
technically.
Michael.
Just make a new folder, career-ending clips.
Yeah, John's so poor he can't pay attention. So
So fucking true.
Also, as far as side effects go, like, was Michael going to get more Michael-y? Like, were we concerned about that?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to get more disabled.
I could say what John told me, but I can't repeat that on air. So
Why am I that guy? Why am I
you
the way
started
I am?
it.
well, ladies,
I like trying to get. Oh, go ahead.
God damn it.
You can end me. You can end me. I have nothing good or
End
productive
us.
left to say.
Well, ladies and germaphobes, podcasts, and OnlyFans, we are elated to have you here with us each and every fabulous week. And so, we hope that you continue to stay tuned. If you're digging what you hear, on this groovy little podcast, we also have some video companions. For instance, we are going to debut very, very soon, in fact, this upcoming week, our first installment of a new fanfic. And Michael, would you care to divulge what the title and content is for everybody?
It is Crazy, Stupid, Insane Love. It is a slash romance fanfic involving several elder gods of the Lovecraft variety.
It's going to be absolutely fantastic and tentacular, which is fun to think about. And then, of course, on Friday, we have a little decompression video cast on the Tubes of You as well. And that is Disinformed After Dark, where we will chat about some of the nonsense that we discussed on the week's episode, in addition to debuting a new installment of Chuck Klosterman's Hypotheticals. So check us out on Wednesday and Fridays on the Tubes of You at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. And then rejoin us here every single Marvelous Monday for this fun little podcast. And if you're digging what you hear, you have social networks you can find us on, of course. We are at Disinformed Podcast on Instagram, Facebook.com/Disinformed Podcast, and on the Twitters, you can find us at Disinformed Pod. And I believe that is going to wrap it up into a tasty little package for all of you to consume. Join us here every Monday morning, as we will have new and raucous information for you, guaranteed. So for the Disinformed Podcast this week, I'm Shane.
I'm John.
I'm Michael.
I'm Courtney.
And why is my name Shaney Mermaid?
Because he's swimming in this shit.
Swimming in bitches.
Bitches get stitches. Okay. So long. And good night.
So long.
Shut the fuck up.